Hello, everybody, and welcome to Feature Focused. My name is Ruben Lane, and I'll be your host today. I have a very special guest with me today. Joining us from London is Kieran Abrams, Avalite's AI lead developer.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm very happy to be here.
Give me one. I've turned down my
Should we
camera.
test? Should we test the audio as well? Have we got anybody in the room who can if anybody's watching, can you guys confirm whether you can hear me? Because a lot of data streaming all over the world here, so it'd be nice to see if this is working.
Hey, Cade, can you hear Kieran all right? I know that were here yesterday.
Yeah, I'll say something maybe that make it a bit easier. Hello,
Yay! Awesome.
big shout out to Cade. So last time I saw you, we had the longest ever wait in a McDonald's drive-through, which it was an interesting story that I can now tell people.
That's awesome. We have Cade Edshaw just signed in.
Ah,
Epic.
Ed, wow, this is great news.
Patrick Campbell, man, they're multiplying over in the visitor section.
Patrick, yeah, good to see you, Patrick.
Yep, yep. All right, let's get started. So, Kieran, V12.1, the much awaited AI 12.1, finally has hit the streets.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's go take a look at that here for a second.
yeah. It's been in development for a while and sort of road tested for a while, but yeah, we're glad to get it out so that everyone can download it and use it now, and you don't need a beta key or anything. So yeah, anyone
Uh,
who's got a key, download it and have a little look at it. Yeah, definitely.
you do need to have an AVO key to run it, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has software protection, which you need a dongle to unlock. So
Right.
yeah,
If
we are able to offer licenses to people who don't have the licenses. We have demo licenses available. So if you have the hardware keys, then we can provide them licenses for you as well. So
Oh, so if you already own a code meter dongle, can you guys issue code meter licenses to?
yeah, we can offer AI demo licenses
Oh, that
to
is
anybody who's got a code meter dongle. So yeah,
brilliant because I've had a few people ask me about that, so that's good to hear that that is
yeah,
the case. Epic.
yeah.
All right, so why don't we talk about some of the top features on 12.1?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Do you want to pick some out and we'll talk through them or
Well,
list them off one by one?
you know what? I totally forgot to open. Like, I kind of
I've got
know.
the release notes, so should I start then?
You take over, my man. This is your show.
Get out of the way, Ruben. No, no, no. So, top thing on here is the update to the code base for 64-bit, which I think is probably the most wanted thing from everybody. So I think everybody really wanted us to push that and to make that happen. So that's now done. That's now completed. So a couple of really nice benefits. The memory footprint of the program has gone up dramatically to whatever is in your system, and now you can use the latest version of the notch blocks as they were exported 64-bit. So, yeah,
Brilliant. I know that that's been a big one. Just I know there's quite a few Notch users that keep hearing like, "Hey, I hear that AI is an alternative," but I keep exporting blocks and they're not running. So now they'll run, and you don't because you could do it before. You just had to go back to like I don't know 6 months back version of Notch and then export to a 32-bit block before you could do that. So now you're good to go, fellas, folks, fellas, ladies, gentlemen. I don't want to leave anyone out.
everybody, whoever you are, if you've got a
Everybody,
notch, if you've
download
got the latest
AI.
version of Notch, it will work with 12.1. So
Um,
yeah,
Pat
I think
Patrick is asking. He wants to get the whole skinny down and dirty with the AMD pinning.
yeah. So that is another major feature that we worked on, and that's been in the works. There's me, Trey, who's the Salvation developer, JB, the technical director. We've been having discussions with AMD for quite a long time, and we found so we basically like looked at all the hardware um, specifications of our servers, and we found that actually the uploading textures wasn't performing to that, and we kind of were really suspicious as to why that was, and we tried loads and loads of tests on our end, and then we hit a roadblock. So we reached out to AMD, and they found that there was a specific path in the driver. So if the code takes a specific path, then it was just incredibly slow, so it wasn't really optimized. And so we managed to highlight that for them, and they acknowledged that, and then they really gave us a load of beta drivers, and we tested all the beta drivers. We saw like significant improvement. I don't have the figures, but like the texture bandwidth upload goes from 50% to 100% improvement sometimes based on what you're doing. It's based on the resolution, the amount of layers you're doing, the frame rate. So yeah, I've had someone that said they've had like maybe 70-80% on really high res footage. So, but even 50% improvement means you'll get you know, you can do like 10 4K layers, you can now do 15 4K layers or something. So it really is a big improvement. But yeah, like I said, we don't really have the numbers because we're in this crazy lockdown state. We don't really have all the hardware to do all the testing with. You know, I've got a few bits and pieces around everyone's houses, but yeah, definitely. If you've got an AMD card, download it, enable that feature. There's a button in the system settings you need to turn on, and then yeah, test it out. Yeah.
Does this affect only the WX hardware or also the older W hardware as well?
It should, in theory, affect any AMD graphics card.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't really know how the consumer grade cards works. We don't really played with them that much, but certainly on the professional range, because they consolidate a lot of their drivers.
Well, I'm just saying, like the old red AMD cards versus the blue ones, which is what we have since the Q.
Right.
Actually, since the last batch of the R series came with the WX cards, but then.
Right. So you're going from the Fire Pro to the Radeon Pro, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So the whole code base behind the scenes is the same, and I think that if you were to download the drivers for the old Fire Pro cards, it would come up with the new Radeon Pro software.
Have a new project for this weekend. All right.
So I think that's all been consolidated, yeah. So and it's really easy to test like whether it's working or not. Like there's one button you turn off and on, so that's like you can do the performance test pretty easily in AI.
What's the name of the feature? Sorry, Patrick's asking. Like what's it called in the drivers?
It's well, we call it AMD texture upload. It's called pinned memory.
Pinned to memory. Awesome.
Pinned memory, if you'd like to know it. And there's a specific extension for the graphics library that we use that AMD have that NVIDIA don't have, and that's why this feature is only available to AMD graphics cards.
Okay. Let's talk for a second about the deprecation of the CPU QuickTime decoding.
Okay. Yeah.
How does that affect? Because I know that SuperStream, right, just runs exclusively on the GPU, but how does that affect like performance and quality codecs?
Yes, this doesn't affect them at all. What this affects is codecs that aren't hardware accelerated. So previously, we've used the QuickTime AV Foundation library, which is really old, but it allows you to decode any format on the CPU as long as you installed the codec. So there's like a little codec you have to install into the system, and then you can decode that on the CPU. Like you could do ProRes decoding, you could do, I don't know, like whatever, as long as you got that CPU decoder, you can use it H.264, these sort of things. So we no longer support that, and that won't work. You'll just get black frame. You won't be able to decode that stuff. For quality and performance, there's a CPU decode step, but that's like a compression step. So we uncompress the frame and then we send it to the graphics card.
Okay.
And so that'll still work, yeah.
Brilliant. So I'm looking here for I think I have some animation. So basically, we've completely deprecated, but at the same time, now we have the media transcoder inside of AI. So, you can bring in all those. Yeah. You can still bring the deprecated codecs. They're just not going to play, but they will transcode within AI, which is even
Yeah,
better.
we have the transcode step now, and I think like the performance that we were getting out of that CPU like decode was really poor, like to the point where you can only play a couple of layers. So
Sure.
it was kind of like a if you really like need it and you know you've got no other option, you need to get something up super quickly and it's super important, then you can do it. But I don't think it's really a valid use case anymore. I think like
Yeah.
people aren't really happy with the performance you get out of it anyway. So um, yeah, like certainly the performance you get out of AIM is like years and years ahead. So yeah,
Curious if the files that I have here are they're AIM already. Gosh darn it. It's like all my content's already aimed up.
yeah, and it
Um,
kind of breaks the design as well because when you drag clips into the media tiles, like since we added a transcoder, it shows a thumbnail saying that it's not AIM and it needs to be transcoded and stuff. So it kind of breaks the design if you're still able to play that, even though it's saying, you know, we don't like this format.
yeah,
So yeah,
brilliant. Okay, so we've spoken about notch, 64-bit support, deprecation of the CPU quick time encoding, uh, the full 64-bit architecture, which is again great. Uh,
right.
I read here support for 64-bit synergy and USB expert. Is there any new tricks that are open now, or is that in preparation for some other goodies coming down the pipeline that you can talk about?
Yeah, it was more a requirement. You can't run a 64-bit application with 32-bit libraries like that. It just
Right.
doesn't work. I mean, there's ways of getting around it, but nah, people don't really do that. So it was more of a requirement. I mean, it certainly will. It could perform better. Potentially, we haven't really put any metrics in, but the operating system's 64-bit, so um, at least the code's running natively on that operating system. And it also means, you know, it's not really a big deal here. It's more just an indication of like, you know, we've had to change this and a bit of feedback to the users that, you know, like this has changed. So because sometimes there's sort of questions about compatibility with Synergy. There's different versions of Titan, and the Synergy interface needs to match up. So this is kind of another way of saying, you know, like that needs to
Actually,
kind of match up. So yeah,
yeah, there's actually a one of those tiny little features that got added in 12.1 that I've noticed. Before, at the very top of the window, you now see not just the AI version that you're running. So in this case, right here in the top, you get AI 12.1, but you're also getting the Titanet version that's running, which I guess is important now that you have, to keep that connection with Synergy, just in case that you end up having to upgrade one or the other.
yeah, exactly. I think it's a little bit tricky to know what version of like Synergy is running, and if you don't know what version they're running, then you might have connection issues. So we wanted to just bring that out and let people know, hey, this is this version of Titan or the Synergy essentially, and so give users a little bit of feedback there because yeah, I think that's quite important.
Great. Let me just check here the comment section. Hi Vera, saying hello.
Oh,
Uh,
Vera, oh, hello.
Hello there. Pioneer Pro DJ Link. I was
Ah,
actually just
yes.
talking about that in the Spanish class a minute ago.
Okay.
Um, but I'll let you, talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, this is I guess if Ed Shaw is still here, this is his conception really on in early days a long time ago. So Pioneer have opened up their protocol, or they have opened up a way of communicating with their hardware. So they have CDJs and they've got mixers and other bits of audio hardware, which I don't really know much about. But they basically have created a bit of software called a bridge, and this bridge allows you to talk to the CDJs to get information back. Um, and like the Titan guys have already implemented this, and we've also implemented this as well. So we actually like implemented a lot of things that you can get back from the bridge. So it's actually like quite a cool feature. It works really well. And the idea is to give programming aids in like either triggering media with correct audio tracks or making sure that media is in sync with the audio. So it's kind of a big programming aid, but it's pretty cool actually. Like so the connection is quite seamless. You just type in an IP address and it will pick it up, and then we've redesigned the tap widget. So the tap widget's changed. It's a little bit more user friendly, and there's also um, like a drop down option that you can like change the tap widget into like an advanced mode, and that advanced mode gives you like all these controls for the Pioneer Pro DJ.
Awesome.
And like the basics of it, what you can do is you can take the BPM that's playing on a specific CDJ, and you can synchronize the tap widget to that, so that like in AI you can set videos to have a specific amount of beats in them, and then based on what the BPM is, it will adjust the speed. So if the BPM on the CDJs is slowing down or speeding up, that will affect the playback on the videos, so that they stay in sync. And that's kind of like where we started with that feature, and then it kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's lots and lots of stuff that you can get back. So what we can do is we can get back like a waveform. So you can get back a waveform which shows like what the track is like, and then you can see the progress along the waveform. So it's quite like useful if you know that like you've got like big important parts of the song coming up with a lot of high energy, you've got lots of drops or bits and pieces that you want to sort of prepare for. You can kind of see that as it's going along, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And then we added like automatic clip triggering. So in the media tiles, you can set a bit of media to have a Pioneer like deck ID and a track ID, and then when that specific track plays, it will automatically trigger the media. So if you know that you've programmed or if you've rendered videos to be programmed along to specific audio tracks, then whenever the DJ plays that audio track, it will automatically play that video clip for you, which is a great programming aid.
So it's just another option for like kind of like a time code synchronization in a way, not just the which I've always been a big fan of the tap option in the performance page, but I've always run into that issue is that like sometimes you're like just trying to okay, let me try to get in beat with the DJ, just being able to say like, hey, let me just trigger this guy and I'll take the BPM in for me. You don't necessarily need to take all the triggering information from if you're just running like a completely busk show file, but just getting the BPM from the decks, I guess, is enough to just keep your media in sync. Because I have a number of clips that are like white flashes that are like just every four beats to each one. So that's perfect for this. Yeah. Just being able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned at the time. Yeah, but the last thing that we did as well, which is also super cool, is that we added timecode support. So we added a way of syncing the timecode widget, which is what we use to play back videos in AI on the performance page up to the timecode received from the Pioneer deck. So and then that offers you even more granular control, right? So if the DJ stops the track for some reason, or like he makes it go in reverse, or he starts putting loop points in, like the video will snap like to that exact frame, and it will hold, it will play backwards, it will do all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's a cool feature.
Awesome. Sweet. All right, let's move on from the Pioneer stuff. This I know that I requested, and I'm very happy that it's there. The 5.1 and 7.1 audio support.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking for this for quite a long time, and I think, we're quite happy that we managed to get it in. This is all Simone's work, so along with the Pioneer Pro DJ link as well. So one of our senior developers, he's been working very, very hard. But yeah, he looked at the audio engine that we use, and he managed to configure it and play around with it, and he's got a 5.1 and 7.1 channel support. He's also updated the Adobe plugins so that they can support 5.1 and 7.1 along with the transcoder.
So an important note then for current AI users that work constantly with content providers. I know that I like to share, like, I have a version of the codec already downloaded. But
Right.
actually, do they need to update the codec, or just basically up?
Yeah, the plugin for so the plugin I think at the moment for Adobe only supports stereo. So I think that that plugin now supports 5.1. I don't think that we were able to get it to 7.1.
Okay,
Um, Now I need to check if it's been updated on the website. So that's something that I will look into, or
but
maybe
if
someone else
you,
can check it out for me and send me an email if it's not been updated. So yeah,
I actually just because of this, I ordered a little USB 7.1 capable like external interface, just to
right,
play with
yeah,
this. But if you already have a, like, if your content provider gives you a file that's like, here it is, it's a, Apple ProRes with the 7.1 already embedded. All you have to do is just drag and drop it into the AI built-in transcoder, and it'll take care of that as well.
yeah, it will take care of it and it will preserve the 7.1 channels and the audio for you.
Beautiful. Okay, we spoke about the AMD texture upload already, and then we have project structure, Protege link.
Yeah, yeah, the project structure is nothing really exciting, but it's useful information. So, like the way that AI works is it's essentially a massive salvation patch with a whole load of custom stuff that we write in there, including the custom UI. But sometimes the projects like to support add new features. The sort of structure of that patch and that project changes. In which case, like older projects that would load might be missing some features. So we do have a feature to import and update the projects for you, and it will try and automatically do that for you. If there's like a lot of custom stuff going on inside your patch, it might not be that successful. But it's just worth noting that the structure's changed, and you might have to import and update your project. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Well, there was the first implementation of this project importer in, like, was it in 11, or didn't it
It's
happen
11, I
before?
think, was the
Yeah,
original one. Yeah.
and that was huge for me, especially when, like, the number of installs that I kind of casually walk into by invitation, like, hey, we hear there's a new version. Can you come and upgrade it? And it's nightmarish
Yeah.
to think this is
Yeah.
huge. It's a huge
I
time
used,
saver
I
too.
used to open like the two projects side by side in Salvation and
Yeah,
like with a meticulous eye, like copy and paste the bits I need. But yeah, it's certainly a lot more useful. We updated the servers in the Jewel nightclub, and it was a huge help. I just like import the projects, sat there, let the progress bar do its thing, and it was fine. So yeah, it
yeah,
was great.
awesome. Uh, Great. I don't know. What else do we have somewhere in there? Synergy is Synergy. Ooh, support for the 12 for the T2 as a timecode device. Is that already official? I know that's been on the pipeline.
That is not official. That yeah, that would need to get added in. So that's something that we haven't done, but I can look into that. Yeah, I
Yay!
guess that's why I'm here to look into all your requests for you.
If
Yeah.
anyone has any questions, comments, concerns from the comment section, we only have Kieran for a little bit longer. So, uh,
The other big thing, Ruben, I said while we're here is the IBC receiver.
yes, it's actually,
So
you took it right off my mouth. I was just about to bring that up.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of people, I mean, people are used to MIDI, but I mean, for a long, long time, OSC's been out there as a control mechanism, and a lot of software and people that want to write their own sort of surfaces or way of interacting, they use OSC, and they haven't been able to get that data into AI until now. So now we've written an OSC receiver module. We can receive OSC data, and we can sort of unpack that data, and then like you can in Salvation you can sort of patch that into whatever you want to patch into.
It's got its own menu structure to it too, installation. So it should be. At first I'm like, is it on the network? Is it under import? It's not. It's got its own
Ah,
OSC sub menu in there. Sweet.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes the menu structure gets a little bit confusing.
yeah. Did you is are the OSC controls added into the manual? I know that's been like a big one for uh, a lot of people. They're like, hey, uh, keep keeping the manual up to date. I know it's a big one.
I think Aaron might have put that in. I'm not too sure. Aaron did update the manual, so Aaron, our support engineer, he did update the manual. The manual is 12.1. If you press F1 anywhere throughout the interface, it will take you to that page in the manual, and yeah,
Yeah.
that should be the 12.1 manual.
We'll hit up Aaron on one of his classes about it.
Yeah, yeah, he's also doing webinars, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, every day. What's the, I mean, Kate, what's the link for that one? It's avolites.com/online resources, I believe. For those who are looking for the official Avolites training, not the Ruben's mercenary training.
Ruben's rogue training.
Yeah.
All the dark secrets.
Hey, they're fun classes. Yeah, if you guys
I
are
saw your one
looking-
on the output page, actually. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed
Thank
it. So.
you. Yeah, for those who are looking for the official training class resources, if you go into avolites.com/online resources, you have a calendar with the daily classes and sessions, and most importantly, one thing that I won't provide on mine classes is what is being talked about in every session, which is quite useful if you're looking for a specific bit of information. Yep. All right. Thanks for the link there, Cade. Let's see. So we talked about OSC. What else? Brad is asking what else is coming. What's coming? What's next?
Yeah, I know, right? I knew that was coming. We got actually quite a lot of stuff in development. I am obviously sworn to secrecy, as everybody knows. Yeah, we've got some cool stuff we're working on that we'll be able to show in a couple of months. In the near distant future, we've got some work to do for the Q series range, which has been announced. So we've got a new, well, we've refreshed the Q3 and we've got 3 new media servers to bulk out the range. And there's some custom coding work that needs to go to finish that off. So that's the most immediate stuff. And then after that, we'll have some fancy stuff for you.
Nice. Looking forward to that. We're searching here through the release notes. Yeah, man. I mean, I did spend since like Thursday when you guys posted it. I have spent every day tearing this thing apart. Very few flags to raise, and I'll save those for my emails later.
Good, because you're one of our beta testers. You should be
are-
raising them flags early.
They are very deep, hard to find flags. I will say that.
Yeah, but yeah, if anybody does find anything, please do just send it over to me, or to Ruben, and pass it on to us,
Yeah.
or through the Avolites channels, because we're happy to get your feedback, and if there's any problems, we're happy to look into that and fix that and improve the software. So yeah.
Patrick wants to know, how's the Delta cast coming?
Yes, that's a good question. So this release has support for the DeltaCast Flex, which is a modular input-output system, and we have added support so far for the 3G, not 12G, 3G SDI input, HDMI input, and DisplayPort input, and we're working on the 12G output and input. So that will be coming also next with the update for the Q series launch. So we have we'll have 12G output and 12G input. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
So for now, just the input, which is again great on its own already.
Yeah.
This last version is very nice.
Got a lot in there. Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm sure the boys in HQ are very happy. Kate wants to know, can we ever just get to play MP3s with no silliness, or has that been fixed?
Yes, you should be able to drag an MP3 or WAV in and actually go through our AI audio engine.
That is actually correct, and I have played with that
You should be able
recently.
to, yeah, you should be able to change the volume, mute it, stop it, everything. That I think that was all fixed in either 11 or 12. I'd have to get the release notes up for 12,
There
or
was
maybe even
a
earlier, 11. We changed it because Salvation has an audio engine, which was a long time ago. Everything went through that, but we did move that over to our audio engine.
um,
Um, and audio files should also be updated to the 5.1 and 7.1 support as well.
I have here. I'm just gonna go ahead and drag the official hold music for this channel. And CK, you get a nice little waveform in there, and I guess I don't have that patched in, so you probably can't hear it.
You hear
But
it though, Ruben. It's like that's the important thing.
mm-hmm, yep. So yeah, Cade, what are you talking about? I'll promise to do some more digging later on this week, uh, probably online and whatnot in one
Yeah,
other
whenever I
session.
go through my old release notes, let's see when that was resolved. I've got a feeling that might have been 11, but I'm not too sure. So I did some work with Trey on that. I remember doing that. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But yeah, the answer is yes, Cade.
The answer is yes. He says that back in January he could only play like the first 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I
Mm.
don't know what that is. Not too sure. If you have the specific file, maybe it'd be worth dropping that over to us.
Yeah, Cade. Yeah, Cade. You should know better. Send it over to support at avolitesmedia.com, right? Is that the official support email?
Yes, yeah. Or you can go on the website and just fill out the form there. But Cade knows how to get in touch with us if he needs to.
Absolutely. One other fun bit, we talked about this 2 weeks ago when we had JB here. But if you want to know what's new with the latest series of media servers, you can go to avolites.com/Q series. And there you will have, aside from that cute little video from Splinter, you'll have access to all the technical specs on the Q3, the brand new Q3 Pro, the brand new Q4, and the very, very sexy Q Gen, which would it be a feature when we call it a feature? It's really a hardware feature of that card, but uh,
What features this, Ruben?
the maximum texture size on
Oh
the
yeah.
on the RT. Is it only on the RTX? Because it is on the hardware, right?
Yeah. It's a hardware limitation. Yeah,
Right.
they've uploaded they changed their maximum texture size from 16,000 to 32,000.
So
32 meg, I guess. Yeah, but
so our maximum now in AI after compression and codecing would be. Is it still 30? No,
that's about 24, I think.
somewhere around
20,
that.
24,000, yeah, pixels
Which
wide.
is again massive. Just breaking that
Yeah,
16K barrier is epic.
yeah.
Sweet. Oh, question on playing with 5.1 and 7.1 audio, since especially the new servers don't come with I guess the rear panel is not exposed. So is there support for some sort of hardware patching for audio, or is it just using the default audio controller? Are we looking at like audio over the network, any of those protocols?
We haven't looked at any of that really in much detail at the moment. I'm sure that's something that will come up next. Certainly, we've looked a little bit into routing and maybe making interface so that people can route specific channels to where they want it to go. But currently, for now, all the routing will have to happen on the operating system. So
Right.
you'll have to plug in whatever hardware device you have that supports 5.1 and 7.1 audio, and then route that through yourself, whether in that dedicated software or with the operating system software, and then that will send it out.
Copy. Uh, all right. Patrick wants to know, can you tell us about the custom edit board? I know that that was more something for JB, but actually I can take that one, I think.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I can answer a few questions. I guess what would you like to know, Patrick? Would be my questions.
I mean, the nitty gritty of it is they're all basically all the new servers are all HDMI 2.0 with the exception of the GUI. The GUI is still DVI. They can handle VESA resolutions, but also custom resolutions. So if you're taking any like a 5K resolution coming in through directly from your processor, from your Novastar or any other edit emulator or generator downstream of the server, you can get that edit and emulate it at the server to again maintain edit emulation and hardware edit emulation inside the machine, so that you won't lose connectivity or have a weird display shifts later. That's really the nitty gritty of it, I think.
Yeah. I think it's HDMI 2.0 and it's lock-in. It's the screw mount on top lock-in HDMI 2.0, and I think as Ruben, as you say, is I mean, we mainly sort of say going up to 4K, but you can push whatever the bandwidth allocation is on HDMI 2.0. I don't have the protocol specification in front of me, and like there's a front panel on the machine that allows you to set what the resolution is and the like the refresh rate, and there's a whole list of already predetermined resolutions, like common resolutions. But if that doesn't satisfy what you need, then in USB Expert you can upload a custom EDID file to a specific output, or multiple outputs if you need to. So yeah.
I am looking forward to the day when USB Experts gets somehow integrated into AIs, like somewhere inside the system settings or something like that. I am really hopeful. I'm gonna ask that as a feature request one day.
Okay.
But not anytime soon. I have bigger concerns. That's just like a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Way later.
Would be nice. So yeah, I admit, yeah.
And actually not the entirety of USB Expert, but stuff like this, like the EDID management, to have it somehow inside of AI. The only complication that I find with that is that shifting your EDIDs with AI open, it's usually a big no-no.
Yeah, the graphics card and usually programs running graphics don't like you to change the resolutions or the formats of the outputs, because they basically need to like reset all the graphic stuff back up again, which means like tearing it all down and put it back up again. So like that's why a lot of programs don't support it, and you just have to restart and come back in. Yeah.
Stu Smith is asking, with the new QMax server, can you do an auto blend of the 4K outputs if you split them into quad HD signals? That is actually a yes. That it has been capable since version 11, I believe.
Yeah, version 11 with the updated calibrator.
Yeah, I'm actually
supports for quad mapping. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put together a tutorial on that. Not next week, but like 2 weeks or so from now. It's all built into the whole auto blend workflow. When you go into your output, if you have a projector, just gonna quickly just show that real quick.
Yeah, it's on the top. There's a drop down. I can't remember the exact option. There's a little tick box for quad splits or splitting the outputs, and that's what you need to check on the calibrator, on the auto blend calibrator.
Yeah, correct. It's yeah, it's an option somewhere in here about screen split. There you go, where you can select a source. I'll be putting a tutorial for that together. in the next couple of weeks. I promise. Pinky promise at that. So you know it's official.
Good question, though. Good question.
It is Patrick. It is through Vioso, which is auto blend. So it's all, but it's all tied into. It's all in there. It's all completely in there. You just basically specify what output, and you'll say if it's split one way or the other, or in quads, and it'll just take it from there. It's actually pretty simple. Matt showed it to me last year. That's why I know it was like back in 11, because Matt Jennings showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's brilliant, brilliant!" Yep, sexy indeed. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? What else? What else is up there? Any other questions? Our good friends in the comment section. The deep dark web. Ooh, you're quiet today. It's unheard of from the internet.
No more questions. We've answered them all, Ruben. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
That is never the case. As soon as we close the stream, it's gonna be like the avalanche of questions.
Right. Yeah.
What do you guys think there for another second? If you want to go to creativeintegration.studio/shop, you can find links to all our licenses, Avo keys, hardware, industry first. You'll see list pricing for the QGen, Q4, and Q Pro media servers available right there. Buy from me. And if you use code CADE-ROCKS, you get a 10% discount because Cade is so cool. Might have missed it. Is there a monitor window for remaining time for videos? Ah, that's a big feature request. It's been there. Stu, currently, if you're playing a video, you'll have the countdown on the... I'm trying to remember which corner is it. On the top right corner of your layer properties, you have the countdown telling you how many, the time countdown for it. There is currently a feature request of broadcasting that information through NDI or anything so that it can be seen on the console, perhaps through Synergy. That would be pretty epic. Feature request.
That would be pretty epic. If you wanted to just preview that value or whatever that countdown, you could do it through Salvation as well. So you could write a patch that managed to extract some of that information from the layer. And I'm sure Ruben would be happy to go through how to set that up.
I would, but I don't know how to extract that bit of information from the layer in that format.
Okay.
I'll take things. I'll beat your hands if you want to guide me through it.
I'd say Aaron is doing a Salvation webinar as well. Actually, I think he's doing it on Friday. I can't be exactly too sure when. If you go to the Avalites Facebook page, they will have information for you there, or to the AI user group, and he will be doing a lot like an in-depth Salvation tutorial. So this would be something to raise with him as something to do. If not, then maybe me and Ruby could put that together.
Yeah.
For you another day. We could maybe do a live patch or make a video of it and put it online.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks. Next week, the good folks from YC3 are doing a social media takeover. I'm going to be hosting a different member of the YC3 family in the channel. So they'll be either helping, dictating, or guiding my hand as we make our way through the different trainings for every day. Stay tuned for more information on that on the Creative Integration Studio page and Instagram as well. But yeah, maybe the week after that we can do a little jumping into Salvation with Aaron and Kieran should be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, nice practical stream. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. People are really in my experience. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm doing this show called Preview and Post, where either I show a project that I'm working on, or a project that I've worked on, or a show that I've seen that I'm like, oh, how could I recreate this event in AI? And that seems to be like the crowd favorite, just the whole practical application of using AI on a show. That seems to be the crowd favorite. So yeah, practical applications, definitely the best way to go.
Definitely good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, well, Kieran, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
My pleasure. It was, great. Thanks for having me. It's nice to hang out, chat with you, to see some nice faces I haven't seen in a long time. So yeah.
I know. I'll remind everyone if you haven't done so already, stop by the Avolites AI user group on Facebook, also the Avolites page. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook for all the news. Again, avolites.com/online resources for all their training schedules. If you're looking for more information regarding the Creative Integration Studio classes, you can go to creativeintegration.tv, and there should be links to all different platforms, both YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, whatever your favorite is. And feel free to drop us a line and tell us what you're looking forward to see in training in the upcoming weeks. Again, Kieran, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Any further questions, comments, drop them in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on them, and I'll be forwarding those to the development team if there's anything that I cannot answer myself. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Right, bye-bye, everyone.